Hey everybody, it's Brooke. I hope you're having a great day. I was playing with plastic wrap and napkins some more. Imagine that. So the stuff I'm using today is El Cheapo plastic wrap, and I've got some tape and some distress ink. This is vintage photo that you can't really tell because I always put my inker on top like that. But we'll need that if you want to use it. A glue stick, scissors. Scissors are always good. I'm just going to put them up here so I can grab them. I do have a bone folder, not necessary. This is an adhesive remover, also not necessary, but as it turns out, it does work on melted cling wrap and paper, and a paper napkin. And I bought this from someone in a pack, and I wish I could tell you from where I purchased it, but I cannot. I'm sorry, but it is pretty, isn't it? So many beautiful napkins available. This is a glassine bag, and this one happens to be 7.5 by 4 3/4. And I love glassine bags. Well, you know how I am about the noise, but I just love using them for everything. And I haven't been able to find an assortment pack online where you can just get 10 each of a couple different sizes. So I'm thinking about getting them and putting them in the shop. And I would appreciate if you guys would let me know in the comments if that's something that you're interested in, because if you're not, I'm going to end up with a whole lot of glassine bags, more than perhaps even I can use. So if you wouldn't mind letting me know down below, that would be super cool. And then I also have an index card that we're going to use with the glassine bag. So this is sort of my take on one of Patricia Viramonte's book page pockets. I think it was Patricia. I always assume that it's Patricia because, you know, she's the book queen lady, or the book page queen. And if it's not her, then I apologize to whomsoever I am slighting. But we will go ahead and link Patricia down below. She has really great book page pocket tutorials, but I'm sure you know that. So I'm just using my Scotch tape to pull up the layers of white on the back of my paper napkin. You do need to make sure that you get rid of these waste layers because it will mess up your project if you don't. Probably the hardest part of the whole project. Hey, how about if I throw it away as I go? I was playing with this earlier and I ended up with this pile of little bits of napkin, like too small for even me to use, and cling wrap scraps, and it was just a hot mess. There we go. There was a second one hiding. Somebody told me this was a crafty Irina tip. I miss her. I wish she would come back. Using the Scotch tape to grab the waste layers off the back of your napkin. Some of them only have one, some of them have two. So you have to be real careful to make sure you do get them all. Now I have taped it to myself. Yay, bro. All right, so we have our napkin. And I didn't trim off the edges that I usually do that have the little bumps where they embossed the layers together, because look at the pretty detail on it. So I think for this one, I'm just going to live with the little bumps on the edge. And I have the glassine bag. And what I want to do is end up with it being a double pocket. So, well, actually it's more than a double pocket. It's like a quadruple pocket. There'll be a pocket up here when you fold it. There'll be a pocket back here, and we're going to trim off this bottom, so that'll make a pocket. And then depending on how you attach it to your page, if you just glue it down on two sides, you'll have a tuck behind the whole thing. So this makes me happy, and because everything is so thin, it doesn't end up being super bulky. So this is what I discovered to work for me. I do check every time to make sure I am in fact putting the napkin in the right place. So I fold the bag up and then just open it back up. No specific measurement. Oops, sorry. Just however deep you want your pocket. And it turns out that you can use a little bit of glue stick to anchor it down. So I pre-cut some cling wrap because, yeah, cutting cling wrap, not that interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off a piece of this scrap. and use my glue stick, and it helps anchor it down until you can get it to the iron. So I've got my glue stick there. I'm just going to put, oh no, it's the cling wrap battle. I'm going to make sure that that cling wrap is extending beyond all the edges. Hopefully you can see that. Cling wrap on a clear bag is not all that visible, I'm guessing, but oh, and we've got a little folded area because it's cling wrap, but that's all right. You'll get the idea. So you want to make sure that this entire area that's going to be folded up as the pocket is covered with the cling wrap, because that's going to be your glue. And you can cut out your napkin if you want to. That's too much like work for me. Oops, forgot my glue. You can again put down just a little bit of glue to hold it in place. And this looks kind of directional to me, so I'm going to put it this direction so that the pansies are going the right way when I fold the pocket up. So mash it down, and then you can turn it over, and see that glue is just holding it down enough that you can slide your scissors in there and do a little trimming. Some people can do this without the glue. Yeah, not me. I'm not that person. And you can cut it a little more generously up at the top, because we're going to be cutting that to open the pocket. And then just cut right up against there. I'm going to move this stuff out of our way. And I did break out the old Cricut Easy Press just because my iron's cord is hidden and I didn't feel like digging it out. So I've got my Easy Press mat. Certainly don't need this. Old crappy iron works perfectly well. There's the parchment paper to protect my mat. And there's our glued saran wrap napkin glassine bag sandwich. And again, another piece of parchment to protect our surfaces. And then this is my Easy Press. Again, certainly don't need to use this. It was just there. Just gonna give it an iron. How long? Don't know. About that long. Then I check it. What I really liked about this was I was thinking that the glassine bag might melt. You know, if there's a wax surface on it, I thought it might melt closed, and it didn't. And that made me happy. See? Still open. Got that napkin down there on the bottom. Yay! So I'll move this out of the way. And now we can fold this back up where we had it, ish. Certainly doesn't have to be exact. Turn it over, and I did a pretty good job on the trimming, not bad. Elizabeth, if you're watching, you must be proud. She laughs at me for my lack of straight cutting ability. And now what I'm going to do is, this is where the bag is sealed at the bottom. I'm just going to trim off a little bit to open that up to be a pocket. And that gets rid of that excess napkin and saran wrap at the end of the bag as well. So now we've got a little pocket there as well. Okay, so, oh, and got a little excess here. That's fine. We'll just trim that. She says, yeah, you can see why Elizabeth makes fun of me. Were I on my own, I would probably be a little more careful, but I am a bad straight cutter. Oh yeah, that's bad. Okay, so do that better than I did, is my advice. And then look how cute. So we have a pocket here, and then we have a pocket here, and at the end of the bag, we have another pocket there. Ha ha. So the other cool thing about putting the napkin on here is that with most of the napkins, they're sturdy enough, you can use your hole punch. Try using a hole punch on just a glassine bag without some sort of reinforcement. It doesn't work out that well. So I'm going to slip my hole punch in here and give it that little thumb tab. Look at that. Slick as can be. And now I'm going to grab my Distress ink and give it a little inking. I was watching Wendy's journal adventures the other night, and she was playing with glassine bags, and I think maybe that's why I started thinking about, oh, I bet I could put paper napkins on glassine bags, because I want to put paper napkins on everything. And I'm just giving it a little bit of ink, not going crazy. And again, you can see where I didn't have the saran wrap there. Yeah, probably want to spend a little more time when you're doing it yourself. I do, just to make sure I've got saran all over. But I didn't think that sitting here watching me fight with saran wrap would be all that scintillating for you. I'm going to go ahead and ink right up the sides. Just enough to kind of accent those edges. Go on the inside, just a little bit. If you run it right along the edge, the ink will really pick up that kind of pinked edge, and it looks really cool. And then go ahead and do the top. And I'm going to take my bone folder and make sure we've got a nice crease there. Crease it up the sides. And at this point, if you want to, you can stick it back under the iron to make sure you have everything adhered down in case you missed anything. But what I'm going to do, I probably would stick it under the iron, but what I'm going to do is pull out my sewing machine. Let's see if you can, yeah, I think you can almost barely see that. And I have pink thread in here, but that's just fine with me. And I'm going to go ahead and sew down the sides. I'm going to do a nice zigzag. See if you can. Oh, it's reflecting off the glassine. Well, hopefully you get the idea. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm definitely going to do a back stitch at the top because that's where things will slide in and out of that top pocket. You want to make sure that doesn't tear up. And I'm going to go right down over the edge of the bottom pocket that we folded up. Give it a nice back stitch at the bottom. I kind of like the pink with it. It's variegated pink and it looks kind of nifty. Sorry about my reach. I don't know why I put everything to the top of my mat. So I'll cut that off and zip up the other side. Pretty close to the edge. We want a wide pocket, so I don't want to take up too much space with the zigzag. But again, back stitching that. And going up the side. And if you only have a teeny little spot that you missed with the saran wrap where the napkin might be lifting, go ahead and use a glue stick. It works just fine if it's a small spot and it doesn't get real messy. So if you actually missed it with saran, then try that. I'm going to trim the threads off, but leave some because I like that. Let's get my machine out of the way. So look at this. Is it so cute? Again, there's a little pocket in here. And there's a pocket there. And then we have a big old pocket on the top as well. So I pulled out this index card because I like it. And I like the height to go in that pocket. I think I will pull out a piece of fabric or ribbon to make a tab on the top. Oh, I have this beautiful hot pink. What do you think? I like it with the thread. I think I'll use that. This was the selvage edge of some fabric I was using. Guess I went a little crazy with that, huh? Go ahead and trim it back a little bit. Give it an angle. And I think I'm going to just staple that on. Get my fabric out of the way. Did not pull out my tiny attacher, but it's conveniently located in a drawer near me. I think I like it that way. So, just gonna go ahead and staple this beautiful fabric on as a pull tab. So we have that. Oh, look at that. And you can kind of see through the glassine to see the pretty index card and the colors. Loving it. And then we have two more pockets to tuck things in. So I grabbed out a photo from a lot of photos. I bought a lot of snapshots that were a little bit curled and everything. And I thought, oh, that would be super fun to go right there. And then I pulled out some Rolodex cards. These vintage Rolodex cards are this beautiful color. And you can iron napkin right on those as well. So I'll take the scrap that for some reason I balled up. Oop. And we've got the Rolodex card. I think I'll go ahead and separate that and cut some of the saran wrap. don't want to cover the whole thing, I don't think. I think I want to just cover part of it. So what I'm going to do is, again, grab my glue stick. Wow, I'm just throwing stuff everywhere. What a mess. It's actually how I craft, though. I stop pretty much after every project and clean up because I like to know where everything is. And by the time I'm done with one project, I've really destroyed the whole place. And what part of the napkin do we want to use? I really like these little flowers, these little blue flowers. So I'm going to lay that part of the napkin down, I think. Yep, and I'm going to tear this edge. All right. So I could, you know, just cut out the piece of the napkin, but I'm going to wait and stick it down to the saran wrap and then trim around it. I just find that to be easier. So I want that little torn edge, and I want to make sure that these flowers are up here. And there's some excess saran wrap, but I'm going to show you what you can do with that. Now I can turn this over and trim it out. Don't laugh. Poor cutting skills. And it's a little bit of a pain. The saran wrap does fight back, but it's not hugely difficult. And I do find that the glue stick helps a lot. All right, so we got that. Got that. Oh, there's a little piece hanging off. I'm going to go ahead and nip that in the bud, as they say. And we do have a little bit, there's a little bit hanging over again there. I'll go ahead and trim that off. It's just easier. So that's looking pretty good. Grab our iron and see, I can toss it around pretty well, and that glue stick is holding it just enough so it's not shifting. And I found that to be really helpful rather than trying to hold it with my thumb and not move it at all to get it under the iron. That wasn't working that well for me, frankly. So I'm going to smooth it out again, make sure it's all good. Put my little cover on it. Grab our easy press or iron, works just fine. Oops. The bottom of the easy press is so slippery. I kind of like my crappy iron better for this, but as I said, I just didn't grab it. So move our sandwich. Actually, maybe I'll leave this out. Oh, yeah, I should have started with that because you can see it a lot better. So look at that. That's fused right onto that Rolodex card. Got a little bit of extra. It must have shifted a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the ink again. I kind of wish I had torn this bottom edge too. You could go back in and sort of patch in another piece over it. Not a problem at all. Maybe we will. Should we do that? What the heck? Let's see if that'll work. I've still got a little scrap of saran. Oh, look how cute. Love how this is coming out. All right. So, got this little teeny piece of saran wrap left. Let me put down my protective sheet here. So I will put down some glue. Oh, we weren't going to put it there, were we? Whoops. No problem. Put down some glue, and we're going to overlap right there. So I'll lay down the saran wrap. And tear off a little excess napkin. Got a torn edge right here. I like that. Oh, probably it would be nice if I showed it to you, huh? Sorry. And put down a little more glue stick. And I'm going to put it this way so that torn edge is showing. It's actually too much. I don't want that much. And again, probably should show it to you. Okay, so I'm just tearing off this little scrap. And I think I want it this direction. Yep, I like that. That works. Grab our other protective bit. Give that a mash. And again, 15 seconds maybe. I just iron it and then look at it. And if it needs more ironing, I iron it more. We'll peel that up. Move our sheets here. Oh, and it looks interesting where it layered. That looks interesting. You guys see that? So it kind of layered there and you get 2 dimensions. I like that. And then you can just pull out the melted saran from in between where the little holes are. And we covered up this one, so where are my little scissors? Grab my little scissors. And just kind of cut that back out. Not hard. Doesn't have to be perfect. Well, at least not in my world. Depends. I guess it depends on how you craft, right? Trim it out a little better than that. That's a little unperfect even for me. And now that I said that, I'm thinking that should be imperfect, Brooke. All right, so got that. Lovely. I like it. I like it a lot. Move that. And so I'm going to go back in and, oh, I should probably cover up my glue, huh? So bad about that. Grab my ink again. Go around that new edge we just put on. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's the lid. Probably not going to get much ink off of that. I am just loving it. Ooh, well, I'll pick that out. All right. So there's our little Rolodex. Isn't that sweet? And I don't know if you can see on the camera. Oh, you can, right here. This was excess saran wrap. And I did find, you can barely see it and it's not sticky. You don't have to do anything. But I did find if you take an adhesive remover, you can get it up. But if you don't have an adhesive remover, I wouldn't worry about it because it's not very visible at all. Just wouldn't worry about it. But then we have this little guy that can slide right into this pocket. Oh, but we made the pocket too small. Look at that. Okay, we'll just do a little trimming. A little creative trimming right there. I just sewed in too close to the edge. So we'll just give this Rolodex card a little bit of a haircut and re-ink it. Guess I'll make sure it fits first. Yes, now it'll fit. Re-ink that, and nobody will be the wiser. Well, except for you guys, but you won't rat me out. I hope. So that can go right in there, and it sort of camouflages itself. So then we have, I think this photo's a little big. I like it, but I don't think I want it in this one. Let me see what else. I have this one. This one's a little smaller. Let's go ahead and that one can go in the back pocket. They look like they're having fun. And what else do we have? You could just load this up because it's so lightweight and it's so thin that it's not going to be all bulky and making your page super fat. Sorry for the crinkly. I'm pulling out a playing card. Oh, this one will work beautifully. Look at this. Then you can tuck in a little playing card. Put it back in the back with those other guys. Look at the colors on that. Love that. All right. And then get everything out of the way here so you can actually see it. And look at that. Glassine bag, paper napkin, kaboom. Look what you made with it. Super fun, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had a great time playing with it and coming up with it. And I will continue to figure out what I can do with paper napkins. Please do, if you get a chance, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below. Share it with your friends. And all of our info to stalk us on the interwebs will be down below in the description. Also, please, if you have a minute to leave a comment, let me know if you'd like to see the glassine bag assortment in the shop. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. I always like hanging with you guys, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.